All right, so in this video, we're going to show you how to mount the Innovatools collapsible stand and the four wheels on a Tapco brand brake. So we're going to show it on this converted 24-inch deep model, but it'll be the same steps for the 19-inch or the 14-inch models. So for this installation, you'll need a 9/16 socket, ideally with an adapter for drill and an extension, a 3/8 socket with an adapter as well, an adjustable wrench, and a measuring tape to take a few measurements. You'll also notice that the kit comes with a lot of different hardware to be used to mount the different blocks. So we have 8 sets of blocks. There's 4 with holes on one side and 4 with holes on the other side. So we'll show you guys how to put that all together. The collapsible stand comes with the 4-wheel for it, and also obviously the 4 legs. All right, so the first step will be to mount our mounting blocks. So we're going to start with the back one on the end here. So you'll notice that each set comes with kind of one part and another part. So one part that's threaded and the other part that has just holes into it. So what we want to do for this back one and the opposite side as well, we want to have the 3/8 hole on the side here facing that way, and the 1/4 inch facing the outside of the brake. So if you don't have the correct hole orientation, use the other half of the blocks that you have in the kit. So the first one with the 3/8 hole will go outside, and the 1/4 inch hole will come close to me. We're going to rest it on that end, tight to the casting, and then we'll grab the long 3/8 bolts that are part of the kit. So we'll grab 2 of those, and then we'll mount this adapter. It doesn't matter if it's this way or this way. In this case, it doesn't have any impact, so we'll hand tighten them. Now, on the front, because the design of the extrusion is a little different, we're going to be mounting it a little bit differently. So we're going to be using the part that we use for the underside, for the top side of the brake in the back. We'll be using that first. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this groove here with the front of the extrusion. So the groove that's right here is going to mount inside the channel. We'll bring you guys close up once everything is mounted to give you a close-up of exactly how it mounts. Then the next block, again with the 3/8 hole facing this way and the 1/4 inch hole facing away from the middle of the brake, will go here. And there's 2 holes here that we're going to use the shorter 3/8 bolt to mount this block. So we're going to grab 2 of those, slide that over, and then we'll start the bolts, because this is just a pressure assembly. There's no actual mechanical through bond type of deal. So we'll just put that here. So I'm going to grab my 9/16 socket and the adapter, and I'm going to secure that in place, making sure I'm tight against the casting. So now we'll mount the front block. So you'll notice again we have the 3/8 bolt and the 1/4 inch bolt, so we need the 3/8 facing out like we did here. And here we wanted the 1/4 inch outward this way. In the front, we want the 1/4 inch towards the front. So what we're going to do is we want the same distance from that face, so 4 1/16 to this face. So I'm going to go 4 1/16, 4 1/16, and then we're going to lift up the block against the extrusion, and then we're going to screw everything tight together. So this is just a pressure fitment. So we're going to bring you close to show you exactly what it is. So as you'll notice here, we got the 3/8 bolt and the 1/4 inch bolt facing the back. And then this is sandwiched around the tube. And then in the front here, we have the same thing. So we got the 3/8 hole and the 1/4 inch hole facing the front. Make sure you push the block up and then tighten those 2 screws to sandwich everything together. So this takes care of those 2 blocks. We got the same distance. The next step will be to mount the legs onto that, and then we'll go to mounting the blocks on that end afterwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the 2-inch 3/8 screws. So we'll need one for each leg on that end. So again, here you'll notice that we have 2 holes. We're going to be using the bottom hole where the 3/8 bolt fits. So we're going to slide that over top here, and then we'll screw that in place. We can take our 9/16 socket, make sure it's nice and secure. We'll repeat the same on the front leg. Again, using the bottom hole to line up with the 3/8 location here. And again, you want the levers to be facing one another. So as you can see here, we're using this 3/8 hole for there. So now that we've mounted this end, we're going to be mounting this end here. So again, we'll use this block first, but what we're going to do is we're going to mount the block to the hinge before we mount it to the brake in this case. So again, you got a 3/8 hole. We want the 3/8 hole facing this way, and then we want the 1/4-inch hole facing the back in this case. And then we'll take a 3/8 2-inch bolt that we can come and secure like so. So we'll tighten it this way. We'll repeat the same step in the front. Make sure you got the right block. Again, 3/8 going this way and the 1/4-inch going towards the front in this case. We'll grab another 2-inch bolt, slide that on the bottom hole. Make sure it's nice and secure. Once that's good, we'll switch to the 3/8 socket, and we'll grab 2 of the 1/4-inch bolt to secure on the outer hole. So we only need those on the hinge side because there's no pressure on the receiver side. So again, secure that in place, and we'll repeat on the front leg. So as you can see here, we have this located like so, and same here again. The 3/8 bolt here and the 1/4-inch. This is going to slide over and rest like so on the brake. We're going to then mount the receiver here and mount the other plate. So we'll grab those receiver blocks. Again, I'll slide that one underneath like so, and then I'll grab 2 long 3/8 bolts for this end. We'll just hand secure them. 3/8 bolt for this block. Before we secure this in place, we want to make sure that we're locked in the locked position. So we're going to pull the lever here to allow the red rod to slide out. And you'll notice there's a little notch here in the red rod. So we're going to push the leg back in by having released the lever. We're going to push the leg back in until it goes click back in place. And then we can confirm that we're in the middle of the adjustment here. We're going to do the same here, ensuring that we see the cutout on the bottom. And then we're going to push it back until it locks in place. So as you can see, we have that about 3/8 half-inch of plate from that notch that's happening inside the mechanism. So what we want to do is we want to be about halfway on that distance. Once that's confirmed, we'll pull back the inner block and make sure everything is nice and tight. If you want to confirm that you're at the right distance, you can measure from outside the block to outside of this mounting block here, and we should have about 35 1/4. and you have some leeway. So you can, you know, we had 3/8 adjustment leeway on there. So this confirms that we're in the correct position. So the next step will be to mount the wheels. We're going to mount them on the outside of the legs. So as you'll see here, we have our wheel kit that comes with the 3/8 thumb screw up here. So if you rotate the finger in one direction, you won't have the clearance. So you got to make sure that you rotate that finger so that you got clearance to slide over the pipe on this end. And this is how we're going to mount the wheels. So make sure that you rotate the finger in the correct orientation, slide that over, secure it in place, and ensure that you have clearance all around.
Confirm you have about 6 inches from the tip of the leg as
is the sweet spot, but you can adjust it to your preference, and then you can hand tighten it. And you'll notice here that we have a 1/4 inch thumb screw. This is simply a brake to prevent the wheel from moving when it's in a trailer or in storage. So whenever you want to wheel it around, you just undo the 1/4 inch thumb screw. And because of the design, it interferes with the finger, so you won't lose that while traveling. We'll then repeat the exact same process with the other leg. And here I measured that I had
6 inches.
So we're going to set the same distance. Otherwise, the brake could be rolling crooked as you're pulling it. So again, make sure that you rotate the finger in the right direction. Slide that over. Hand tighten it, and then confirm that you have your same distance. See here, I have 5 inches, so I'm going to go to
6 inches.
And then I can hand tighten it. Once I'm satisfied with the location, you can even take a wrench and give it a little bit of a yank if you need to secure it in place more on the permanent side of things. This is what completes the assembly of the collapsible stand on a Tapco brand model. So what we've done here, we'll repeat the exact same on the other end. So this sums up the installation. If you have any questions, give us a call, and thanks for your purchase, and we hope to make your life easy moving your brake around with our collapsible stand.